What's up, guys? Gaonan here, and welcome to episode 9 of Drafting to Masters. Last time we started our climb through Diamond, and today we're going to continue our journey through Diamond and work our way to Masters. If you've missed any of the previous episodes, I've included them in the top right corner of this video so they're easy for you to find. That way you can follow along my climb to Masters. Without further ado, let's get into another draft. Pack one, pick one. We've got Black Hole War Leader, which is a 2-drop 2/2. Does have some extra text on it. If you can get some attacks in on your opponent, it continues to grow and it causes the units you draw to grow as well. There's also Bloodthirsty Brawler, which I like quite a bit. Rampart Arbalest is okay, and I don't think any of the commons are worth considering over these 3 cards. I think I like Arbalest less than I like the other 2. Bloodthirsty Brawler is just a house if you get it to work, and War Leader could be good if you can get the attacks in and everything like that, but if you draw it late game, nothing's really happening. So it might be a surprise, but I'm actually going to take Bloodthirsty Brawler here over the Black Hall War Leader. Given that there's nothing here in Skycrag that we're super excited about, I think I'm actually going to take this petition because in the event that we end up in colors that are just one side of the Bloodthirsty Brawler, this petition helps us play the Bloodthirsty Brawler. So I'm going to take petition here. Learned Herbalist is another 2-drop that helps us a lot with playing a 3rd color potentially, and I think it makes the most sense here. Not excited by any of the rare or uncommons, and the other commons aren't that exciting either, so Herbalist it is. So some okay shadow cards coming through with Back Alley Delinquent. Nothing super exciting. There's no fire cards at all, so that's kind of disappointing. And the uncommons aren't very exciting either. I'm going to take the Enraged Arachnodon just because you know what you're getting with that card, and it continues down the path of 2 colors rather than branching into a 4th color by taking Delinquent. Initiation Bell is not very good. Entangling Vines is quite good. Peacekeeper's Helm is also good. Think I'm going to take Peacekeeper's Helm here over the Entangling Vines. I know it takes us into a 4th color, but this could be a sign that Justice is actually open and that's the lane we should be in. Then we go to the next pack, and the only Justice card is Grit, of course. And the only Primal card is Torrential Downpour. Don't love that. Think we might just take this Gathering Lights here. We could take Oni Eulogist. I don't think Randori's very good. Maybe we'll just take the Eulogist here because nothing else is very exciting. Alright, so some more time cards. Okay, Justice card. Just going to pick Subterranean Sentry as potential top end. Portent Reader is only good with cards that have Echo. We don't have any of them yet, but I don't know if there really are any in set 4, so it might make sense to take it here before we see the Echo cards like Teriak's Hatchling and things like that. Other choice would be Pyre Elemental or Sandglass Parma. Parma does help us get to higher levels of power, also can just create a big butt on the ground to stall. Pyre Elemental I don't think I'm really excited about here, so for me it's between Portent Reader and Parma, and I think I'm just going to take Parma in this situation. Speardiver did get nerfed to 6. I don't know if it's worth playing anymore, but I'm going to take it because we haven't picked any shadow cards so far, and I think Speardiver is just better than the rest. Alright, so just a bunch of primal cards here. We'll take the first Frost Shaman. Grand Form is a trick, so we'll take that. And Tend the Flock, probably won't play it, but we'll take it. So we're all over the place right now, but have a lot of leeway with where to go because we have cards like Learned Herbalist and Petition. Amber Acolyte furthers that plan in allowing us to play more than just a 2-color deck, so we could take Amber Acolyte here. The rare Ascendel's Gift I don't think is really playable in draft, and the uncommons aren't very exciting either. Other commons that are pretty good would be maybe Unpredictable Outlaw, but I think Amber Acolyte just makes a lot of sense given where we're at right now. Elder's Feather is a very strong weapon. There is another Amber Acolyte. I think those are the two cards I want to be looking at here. Like maybe I'm in Combre or I'm like base time and splashing a couple of colors. I'm not sure yet. It's hard to say. But I think Elder's Feather is strong enough that we should take it over another Amber Acolyte here. Archive Curator is fantastic. Always happy to see it. I think it's hands down the pick here because we know we want to be in time at this point. So some pretty good primal cards coming through. Decent time cards as well. So right now it seems like we're base Elysian, maybe splashing fire. In this situation, I don't think Power Glider is the right pick. It is an okay body, but it's one drops very quickly get outclassed in limited. So I think really I should either be looking at Bold Adventurer or Tundra Explorer. They're both in our main factions, and in this scenario, I'm going to take the Tundra Explorer because we're less likely to see another one of those before we see another Bold Adventurer. Dark Veil Agent is a 2-drop. Don't think we have any Unseens, but it is just a 2/2 for 2 that draws us and our opponent an extra card, so I still like it here. Wondering if we should have been in Skycrag at this point. Some very good fire cards coming through, but I think our time is too strong to start abandoning that for the Skycrag cards. So I'm going to take this Predator's Instinct. We have some big bodies that can take advantage of having a killer effect. So at this point I would say it's between Second Sight and Caleb's Choice. I don't think I would really splash Caleb's Choice, so I think Second Sight's the right pick for us. Sky Snapper is a decent 3-drop, so we're happy to have that here. This is an interesting choice because Violent Gust takes care of flyers, Gaonan holds the ground. I think I'm more apt to take Violent Gust in this situation. There could also be an argument for Katana. I think since we know we want to play this Bloodthirsty Brawler, it makes sense to take Ornate Katana here over the Violent Gust. And then some quick autopilot picks for us. Maybe we play Hissing Spiketail, but I doubt it. Knucklebones seems like a bomb. I mean, your card is already made up of quote-unquote random cards, and the fact that you're going to now be drawing 2 cards per turn while your opponent's drawing 1 seems like an easy way to win the game. And it is in our splash color. I own 0 Knucklebones, so I think it totally is worth taking Knucklebones here over anything else. Alright, so now our options are Swindle, another Katana, Last Light Infusion. None of those super excite me. Our biggest thing now is how do we survive to the late game so we can get Knucklebones down and just let it do work. I'm kind of torn between Swindle and Last Light Infusion in this situation, but I think I'm just going to take the Swindle for the card draw here. Second Swindle, I don't know about that. Lots of really good fire cards coming through, but we're just going to take Violent Gust this time around rather than mess with any of these fire cards. Scorpion Wasp is great at helping us survive longer. I think it's better than Fearless Yeti, so we'll take the Scorpion Wasp here. Steward of Prophecy can hit something in their hand that's meaningful, and we don't have any primal cards here or any fire cards that are worth splashing, so Steward of Prophecy it is. Xenon Guardian is very good at holding the ground. I think it's going to be better for us than Fearless Yeti. We don't have like a punter or anything like that to really take advantage of Yeti synergies. And this, while it usually does trade up, this is better at stalling the game and getting us to Knucklebones levels of power. Dispel seems pretty good here. I think I like it more than Talir's Intervention since it replaces itself even though it is at slow speed. I am going to take Initiate of the Sands here to ramp up to those higher levels of power. So we already have one Hissing Spiketail, we already have Sky Snapper. I don't think I ever play Belching Behemoth, so I'm just going to take a second Sky Snapper here. Amber Waystone is fine. And some quick autopilot picks. A second Violent Gust? Yes, second Violent Gust. Alright, so before we get into this fourth pack, let's do a quick unit count to make sure we're on track and figure out where are the holes that we need to fill in. So we're at 16 units right now, maybe only 15, depending on how you count Scorpion Wasp. So we have quite a bit to fill in. We are definitely needing some more 2-drops because as far as 1 and 2 drops, we just have Initiate of the Sands, Dark Veil Agent, and Learned Herbalist at the moment. So really need to find some early game. We're doing pretty good on the 4-drops, and we definitely don't need more top end at this point. It's really just about can we survive the early game and make it to the late game. So with that, all that in mind, I think Spiteful Lumen makes the most sense here because it's a 3/3 for 3. Even without any wisps, it is still a relevant body after they buffed it. Clan Standard is a nice pickup here. There is also a Crunch, but I don't think we're in the market to play Crunch as well. It could be good. There is also a Petition and a Pensive Lumen, but I'm just going to take the Clan Standard as a way to, for some more removal in this deck. We're kind of like a control deck at this point. A second Learned Herbalist is fantastic, exactly what we need, so we'll take that here. Hail Shrieker is a 2-drop, Lumen Attendant is a good 4-drop though, and I like Lumen Attendant quite a bit more than I like Hail Shrieker, so we're going to take Lumen Attendant here. We might regret not having an additional 2-drop, but I think the power level of Attendant is pretty high. So Vital Arcana gives us some more draw and life gain. Probably better than Grave Tender. I don't see us reliably tributing this. Also don't think we're splashing for Manufacture. And we've got the better killer effect with Predator's Instinct and Death Strike. So I'll take Vital Arcana here. Dusk Raider is a fantastic 2-drop for us, so we'll take that. If this wasn't here, I would definitely take Watchful Amanera. Don't think we picked up anything with Echo, so the Portent Reader isn't fantastic, but don't think we really need Mistress of Light. Other option is Sandglass Parma, once again to help us ramp to those higher levels of power. Could also take Shamanic Blast for potential removal. Shiver would work that way too. I think a second Parma is fine here. Given that we're kind of low on 2-drops, it allows us to potentially put this on something. Maybe we need to bounce a flyer. I usually hate playing this card. We probably still won't play it, but maybe we need to bounce a flyer so that we can continue to get in the air or something like that. So we'll take Sirocco Elementalist over the Gale Prowler. Don't think any of these cards make the deck. And a last pick Portent Reader. Maybe that makes the deck. Alright, so some quick, easy cuts. I think Second Sight is gone. This is definitely going to be an 18 power deck since we want to get to 7 as quickly as possible. And I think all 3 of our fire cards are worth the splash. We could maybe take out the Ornate Katana, but it does help us draw extra cards. So for removal, we have Instinct, we have Gust, we have Dispel, we have Clan Standard. Seems good enough. We have 5 1 and 2 drops, so I think that's enough as well. Now, what cards do we want to cut? We're definitely keeping Amber Acolyte, Scorpion Wasp, maybe not 2 Sky Snappers. Curator is good, Lumen Attendant is good, Prophecy is good, Guardian's good, like Brawler, First Frost Shaman makes sense. I think one of these guys can go, given that we want to try and keep our influence requirements low, I think a ranged Arachnodon can go. We rather play the Subterranean Sentry. So that puts us down to 18 units. So we need 2 more cuts at this point in order, well, actually just 1, because the petition will count as a power for us. So I think we just need to cut either Swindle or Vital Arcana, and it makes sense to cut the Swindle over the Vital Arcana once again because this is a double primal card, this is a double time card. We already have Luminant Attendant at double time. And Swindle, you have to be more aggressive to get the full value out of it, whereas Vital Arcana, you're drawing the 2 cards, you're gaining the life, so I think Swindle can just go. And then let's get some power add to the deck. We've got this Waystone, then add power. Definitely don't need 4 fire sigils. Probably just need 1. So we just have really good fixing with the Learned Herbalist, the Amber Acolytes, and the Petition. So that's fantastic for splashing this 3rd color, especially with very powerful cards like Knucklebone and Bloodthirsty Brawler. I think the Katana splash is maybe a little bit loose, but I'm okay with it because it does help with cards like Curator continuing to get in the air, or, you know, power on Spear Diver to be more powerful. So I am going to go down to 1 fire sigil, play another primal sigil. We want to make sure that when we see this fire sigil, it's pretty late into the game and that it's not hurting us in any way in the early game. Because really what we need to do with this deck is get to the late game, play down the Knucklebones, and just outvalue our opponent. Alright, so this is the deck. Just want to close by saying thanks for joining me for draft number 9 of the season. I hope you're as excited about this deck as I am. Join me in the next video to hear what I think about this deck and how I think it'll do, and then eventually actually see how the deck performs. See you in the next video.